because the circumstances in their culture are such that they cannot find a life partner, or they cannot find the kind of life partner that they want to spend the rest of their lives with. All right, so let's talk about why international women join a marriage agency like a foreign affair. I got to tell you guys, the reasons for that haven't changed in 16 years, and they are simply this. The vast majority of women at a website come to us to find a life partner because the circumstances in their culture are such that they cannot find a life partner, or they cannot find the kind of life partner that they want to spend the rest of their lives with. So women in the Philippines will tell you that they find men from other countries to be very, very attractive and appealing, and they want that for themselves if they can have that. Women in Ukraine or in Russia will tell you there just aren't enough men in their culture. They have no problem with the way their men look, but there just aren't enough of them. There are millions more women in Ukraine and Russia, as we've talked about many, many times, than men, and that makes it just so difficult for even very, very beautiful women in Ukraine to meet a life partner. Again, they're not desperate, but they are alone and want to meet somebody, and that's your opportunity. So women, the vast majority of them, will come to a website like ours or an agency like ours to find that life partner that eludes them. All right, so there are also a certain number of women who will come to a website, not so much for marriage, but for international dating. Maybe they've already decided, I could never leave my country, I have a young child, I want him or her to be raised in Ukraine, I have parents, I'm too close to them, and I just can't ever leave this country, but I still want to meet somebody, and I'm having difficulty doing that. So if I have the chance to meet a respectful, nice, good-looking, international guy, why wouldn't I do that? And they'll tell you right away that they're not interested in marriage, but they're okay with international dating if you're okay with international dating, and some guys are. Some guys will take a long road to finding that life mate that they want to ultimately settle down with, and that's perfectly okay. You have that ability, because some of the women are going to come to us and say, not so much marriage, more international dating is what I'm interested in, and that works. So then you have a smaller group of women who will come to us essentially to find a guy who's going to spend money on them or give them money. And again, guys, I've said it many times, I've been doing this for 10 years, and I can tell you right now, the women that are in this for money are wonderfully predictable. They will ask you for money, and they don't mess around, they don't wait very long. They're here because they've seen a friend or somebody benefit from a relationship in which a guy offered a lot of money, was given very, very easily, and the women had absolutely no problem meeting a guy who spent lots and lots of money, if not thousands of dollars on them, and they're here for that reason. And again, they're very obvious about it, so you'll know that right away. And then finally, there's a very small number of women in this process who enter into it hoping ultimately to meet somebody and move out of their country to live in another country, and that is their main focus. Now, the media tells us that the vast majority of women who join an international dating agency like a foreign affair are trying to do exactly that. That is completely not true. It is a very small number of women that actually have that as their ultimate goal. The vast majority of women, guys, when you go and meet them, if you could meet them, fall in love, and move to their country and live in their country, would be absolutely thrilled to do that. They do not want to separate from their families, go halfway around the world, start life over in that way. It's something that's just very, very nervous for them, and they'll do it for the right guy, but it's not something that they can do easily. It takes months for them to adjust and be successful and stable, right? But again, in my 10 years of doing this, and the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of couples that I have known, there have been maybe 2, maybe 3, where the girl clearly had the objective of just getting to America, and the guy should have absolutely known better, because in all of those cases, or in both of those cases, there have only been a couple, honestly, the guy hadn't even kissed the girl, or maybe he had kissed her, but not very frequently, not very often. They weren't an intimate couple. They weren't a truly happy couple. She wasn't saying I love you. It should have been incredibly obvious to the guy that this was not a real relationship that should come to fruition with a marriage and a lifetime commitment. So again, guys, there you have it. The main reasons that women come to a service like ours to meet an international life partner. That is why the vast majority of women do this. There are some that come just for dating. There are some that come to get money, and they're very, very obvious about it. And there are a few that are out there that come essentially to get out of their country and into another country.
Join men from all over the world as they take a trip and find their future brides.
Interested? Learn more at mymailorderbride.com.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Then click on the notice bell to get notified every time we add something new.